One of the other options we have with an eSXI host is not to create a virtual machine from an ISO or whatnot, which is actually something I'm doing on the other system right now. I'm spinning up an Ubuntu-based system. I'll come back to that in just a minute because my Win 10 system just does not want to load correctly. In any case, we go back over here. What we can do is register a VM. This would be like opening or importing an existing VM in VMware Workstation. So I'm not going to deploy a VM from an OVA or OVF, which I could do. As it happens, the thing I have available to me is the Kali 2022 image, and it's already it's not packaged as an OVA or an OVF, so I wouldn't deploy it. It's a fully deployed virtual machine ready to go for VMware right now. So I'm going to register an existing VM. Click Next. I need to select my data store. Click NFS, click VM, click Kali, click. There's a Kali directory inside the Kali directory. Not going to worry about it right now. So there's this this VMX file is the thing I really need. So I'm going to click Select. I'm going to select it and go to Next. And yeah, it has told me what I could have selected a whole bunch of these at the same time. Finish. So it is going to spin it up. And this is actually already in my NFS Datastore, so I could just as easily grab this from. I'm essentially going to run it off the Datastore. So I could just as easily interact with it over here. Let's see if it, okay, it's attached to a port group that does not exist. Okay, I am going to say I copied it. That will change, essentially, disk has, ensure that the disk has been imported. Interesting. Actions. Attached to a port group that doesn't exist. Okay, so I have my Ubuntu system. What I've actually got, I've been trying to add. Actually, let me refresh this right quick because it is out of a little bit out of date because my Ubuntu system is down. You should actually kind of be able to see your VMs, their current state right here in your navigation bar. My Ubuntu system is currently down. I got it spun up. It's okay. The next thing I'm going to do, and actually notice that it is using a full 16 gigs. This is a thickly provisioned thing, rather a thickly provisioned device. It's not up right now, so I can't see its host name. It's got nothing in terms of my monitoring. So you know what? Let me refresh that. Refresh that right quick. I have been trying to add this host here to my Active Directory domain. My NFS share has read-write given to all computers, but these two eSXI hosts are not in the domain. So I'm going to try to move trying to move this Ubuntu system from the local data store 150 to the NFS data store. I'm not going to do that here. I can export it and do other things like that. or auto start it or whatnot. But none of in order to move the data, I basically have to be in the data store. So go into the data store browser. I've got my Ubuntu system. This is actually not. This is not the ISO. This is the actual VM. So what I'm going to do is click Move. I choose my destination, VM. Yeah, move. And what I'm actually essentially going to do is I created it on the local system. I'm pushing it up to the NFS, and now I can open it from the NFS in either place. I tried that a minute ago with this Kali thing, and it didn't like it all that much. So we'll see if this works. And it is thinking about it. So it's actually doing it in the background. Host. There were a couple of things about the that Kali VM that it didn't exactly like. It wasn't sure about the hard drive type, and it wasn't sure about its version compatibility. It was basically built for eSXI 5.5. This is eSXI 6.7. I think the fundamental issue, if I can get it to upgrade from 5.5 to 6.7, it'll be happier. If I can get this thing writing successfully to that file, there may be a question of who owns that file. It may be a permissions question, so that one has essentially read-write access to. We might have read-write access to the directory, but not necessarily to the file in the directory, a specific directory within that directory. I may have to disentangle that. So I'm going to pause this because it's going to take a minute. And then I should be able to see this from more than one place. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we have put that Ubuntu VM on up in the data store. Now let's go see if we can see it. More to the point, let's go see if we can use it. So it's there, good, in the data store. Because I was on one, and now I'm on two. I've been trying to put two into the domain. So let's see if we can't register a VM. This is actually what I was trying to do a little bit before. And again, I'm going to register an existing virtual machine. Next, I'm actually going to run it from the NFS Datastore. Ubuntu, this one, yes, the VMX. Okay, next. Yeah, I want that. Next. Notice you could do a bunch of them at the same time. Finish. Successfully registered. Good. Now, let's see if we can fire it up. Boom. And I said I copied it. Just to be sure. And yeah, good. I gave this thing a 5-second boot delay. It's a little slow, as you can see. That was a pretty slow refresh as refreshes go. But now I've got an Ubuntu image in more than one place. It's going to load my STA, and let's see how this goes. So there might have been something wrong with the thing that may have gone wrong with that Kali image, which I should very much like to have used. It may have been built for a desktop implementation of VMware. So what I might actually need to do, get a little sneaky here, because I've got VMware right here on my desktop. What I might need to do is take that Kali, boot it here, make sure it works, convert it to a newer form, because like I said, it's eSXI 5.5. Maybe the fact that it's old is part of the problem. So we need to go here. Okay. And boom. The next thing I can do, okay, so I've got a VM running off my NAS, accessible to either of my two hosts. So success. So thanks, and I'll be moving on to things like vCenter pretty soon. So thanks for watching. And of course, I'm going to shut this thing down correctly. Because the next thing I want to do is install VMware tools on this thing. Could be very useful. Shut down, shut down. Notice I have it, it's not asking me about snapshots or anything. That's also something I could demonstrate right quick. So yeah, that'll be my next video. Installing VMware tools and setting up snapshots. So thanks.